Right, so the Champions League is back this week and also next week for the first leg round for the round of 16 for 16 teams obviously. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. There are some very big games coming up. This week it's only gonna be 4 matches, 2 on Tuesday, well tomorrow because I'm recording this on Monday, February 15th, and then on Wednesday there will be 2 other matches, and then next week same, Tuesday 2 matches, Wednesday 2 matches. I believe almost all the matches are really good, very entertaining matches, and there'll be quite a few goals in every single one of the matches, at least in my opinion. But we'll see how they get on. But it's time for my predictions, and actually I'm gonna start off with the last game that will happen of this round, or the first leg at least. It'll be Manchester City versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. So Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Manchester City. The first leg will be at Borussia Mönchengladbach's home because they finished second while Manchester City finished first in their respective groups. But I believe that it is, although both teams are really good, I believe Manchester City will quite easily take this. They'll, I feel like they'll find it a bit hard against Borussia Mönchengladbach at Borussia Mönchengladbach's home, but I think they'll still get the win. Maybe a draw, but at the Etihad Stadium, I believe it'll be City easy victory. Although Borussia Mönchengladbach could put up a good fight because they are a really good team with the likes of Lars Stindl, who I believe just won the Player of the Month in the Bundesliga for January, I believe. If not, I could be wrong, but he did so well, getting many goals, many assists. He's been up there playing so well for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I believe he's also the captain, leading them to many good victories in the Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, and the Champions League. But I still don't see them going through against against the likes of Manchester City, because Manchester City is just on fire in 2021, with the likes of their defense being so solid, with the likes of John Stones and Ruben Diaz, with João Cancelo being so influential on that right hand side, also on the left hand side, and then also their midfield, despite the fact that Kevin De Bruyne did get injured a few weeks ago, they've still been so good with their midfield. And then the likes of Phil Foden playing so well alongside Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. They're playing so well, and I don't see them stopping in the Champions League. And I honestly think Manchester City are one of the 3 big favorites to win the Champions League overall. So yeah, I'm going to go with Manchester City to win this tie against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and the score will be up right here. Now let's go on to the next one. So the next one is Atalanta versus Real Madrid. This one is not so clear-cut as everyone thinks it could be. I honestly believe that, well, both are kind of struggling. I believe Atalanta lost a few games just a few weeks ago, or a week ago. And I believe they also lost against Lazio in the cup. Or some other team, I can't remember. I don't really follow Italian football that much, but I do know that Atalanta are a really good side, and despite those setbacks, they come back hard and they attack so well. Their defense may not be as strong, but I feel like their attack is really good. Meanwhile, Real Madrid, they are a really good side, as proven, because they have the most Champions Leagues. But ever since they lost Cristiano Ronaldo, it hasn't been the same in the Champions League, honestly. I mean, they got knocked out by Ajax, and then last season, I forgot who they got knocked out by, but they did lose quite spectacularly. And then even this season, they nearly got knocked out in the group stage, which would have been unbelievable. But yeah, I still think Real Madrid is a really good side. But I am going to go for an Atalanta victory over Real Madrid, and they're going to progress. Possibly through away goals, not just out and out victory, because I do think it'll be a very close match. Or it could be completely wrong and Real Madrid just takes it easily. But in my opinion, I do think Atalanta are in better form. Maybe not better form, but I feel like due to Real Madrid's struggles and them being so far away from Atletico Madrid in the league, and then losing to a second-tier side in the cup, either second tier or third tier. But yeah, I think it'll be very tough for them to actually progress. And even if they do progress, I don't see them winning the whole Champions League, but I guess we'll see. But this is a score that I predict on aggregate for both ties. And yeah, Atalanta to make it through. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is Lazio versus Bayern Munich. Now, this one is also another tough one. I think it will be actually closer than everyone thinks again, because Lazio are actually a really good team, and I think they're kind of on good form despite losing their last match, I believe. I think they lost against Inter Milan 3-1. While it would be difficult to take down Bayern Munich, I can see them doing it. I'm kidding, no. Bayern Munich are just too good. They just won the Club World Cup against Tigres. I know it was a 1-0 victory, but I watched that match. They played so well. They completed their sextuple for last season, equaling Barcelona. But yeah, Bayern Munich are just way too good. And obviously they're one of the three favorites. So that's the second favorite, I think, to win the whole Champions League this season. It'll be difficult for Lazio to even do something against them. I do think they can put up a good fight, just like Borussia Mönchengladbach can do against Manchester City, but I don't see them doing enough to actually beat or knock out Bayern Munich during this Champions League tie. So yeah, I think it'll be not an easy, but maybe a comfortable victory for Bayern Munich. So this is the aggregate score that I predict, and yeah, on to the next one. So the next one is Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid. Now, Atletico Madrid are in such good form in the league. I know they just drew against Celta Vigo like 2 match days ago, but they are so incredible in the league. Their defense is solid. Their attack is finally firing, with the likes of Luis Suarez being the top goal scorer in that league with, I believe, 16 goals, beating the likes of Messi and Benzema and many other great players in that league. And then the likes of Chelsea, while they have struggled quite a bit in this season, even sacking their manager, Frank Lampard, and bringing in Thomas Tuchel, it's not the ideal situation for Chelsea at the moment. But they have been finding some form under Tuchel. I believe their first match they did draw 0-0 against Wolves, but then since then they've won every match in the Premier League, I believe. And yeah, it will be difficult. I think it will be a kind of close match, but I still think I'm gonna go with Atletico Madrid just based on how well they're performing in the league, because they are ahead of Barcelona and Real Madrid by quite a few points with playing less matches than them. It's incredible. They could go on to win the league, and honestly, I think they're the third favorite team to win the Champions League. I think the most likely would possibly be either Man City or Bayern Munich. They're up there, but just with an outside shot, I think Atletico Madrid have a good chance of actually winning the Champions League this season. It'll be tough, but I do think they can make it. And against Chelsea, I think they'll cruise past them quite comfortably as well. Sorry, Chelsea fans. I do love Chelsea as well. I love both teams, but I have to go with Atletico Madrid, mostly based on form. Yeah, sorry, Chelsea. But this is the aggregate score that I predict, and on to the next game. So now, finally, with those 4 games covered, we're going on to this week's games. On Wednesday, we will see Porto host Juventus in the first leg of their tie. It will be Cristiano Ronaldo returning to his home country. It will be kind of tough for Juventus, I believe, because I believe that in the Champions League, Porto have not conceded a single goal at home. And in that first leg, they're at home. There's a possibility that they won't concede again. But with that being said, even if they don't concede and they do score a few goals at home, I still think Juventus can easily get past them. It's one of the easiest ties to predict, honestly. But yeah, because of such difference in quality. But although FC Porto are such a good team, it's just that they're in the Portuguese league. Juve are crowned champions of the Champions League, Coppa Italia, and Serie A so many times. They won their league last season. They won the Supercoppa, I believe, last month or the month before that. I can't remember. And then with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, ties to the league, Paulo Dybala, Alvaro Morata, so many players, so many great players, and I don't really see them losing to an FC Porto side who do have some quality talent like Jesus Corona, Sergio Oliveira, but I just think that Juve can get past Porto quite easily. Maybe there'll be an upset, but I don't really see that happening. I think the only upset that will really happen is Atalanta versus Real Madrid. So the aggregate score, and I guess we'll see what happens in the next one. All right. So the next match, this is a really close one. Now we're getting to the real close matches. This week on Wednesday, yet again at the same time as Porto versus Juventus, and the personal game that I want to watch is Sevilla versus Dortmund. That is gonna be a match to watch because Sevilla are such a good team and they're on such good form. They just beat Barcelona in the cup 2-0 at their home in the first leg for the semifinal, and they've just been winning so many games in La Liga. Yes, they're quite a few points behind leaders Atletico Madrid, but they're a few points behind Barcelona and Real Madrid, I believe, like 3 points behind Real Madrid and like 2 points behind Barcelona. That's incredible. They're on great form. Youssef En-Nesyri is playing phenomenal. He has 13 goals, just below Messi, who has 15. And yeah, they have the likes of great players, although they have quite a bit of injuries, just like most teams in the Champions League at the moment. But I do think that Sevilla are in red hot form in 2021, and I don't really see them stopping soon. Maybe in a few months' time, maybe they'll start to slow down, but honestly, at the moment, they don't seem like they can stop. Now, Dortmund, I think they're on the opposite track at the moment. They did sack their manager, Lucien Favre, quite a few weeks ago, I believe. And they did just announce that Marco Rose will take over next season. Marco Rose is actually the Borussia Mönchengladbach manager at the moment, but he will take over for Lucien Favre next season for Borussia Dortmund. But since the sacking of Lucien Favre, it hasn't been that good for Dortmund. Even with Lucien there, it wasn't good form for Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich have lost a few points, and they've struggled. All teams have struggled this season. Like, maybe not humiliations, but they have struggled many times against some teams that they shouldn't have lost against. Even the big teams have done quite poorly, honestly, in my opinion. But Dortmund, like, despite Bayern losing so many points that you wouldn't expect, they've lost just as many, if not way more. Right now, I believe they're sitting in 6th place in the Bundesliga. You'd expect them in 2nd, contending for the title, but they're really not. I don't think they're even the 3rd best team in Germany at the moment. I think that those luxuries go to RB Leipzig for 2nd place and Bayer Leverkusen for 3rd. Maybe Borussia Mönchengladbach. But anyways, we're talking about Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund, they have very good players. So much quality in that team. But they are a bunch of youngsters and quite old players. It's like veteran players at the back and then super young players at the front. While it is good, they do need to find their right connection so they can stop conceding so many goals, because they keep conceding so many goals. They can score them just fine, but they concede way too many. Dortmund is one of the teams that they always promise goals, either against them or for them. With Erling Braut Haaland, one of my personal favorite young stars at the moment, he's firing so well. He's like a robot. He's playing so well. I believe 15 goals and 3 assists in 16 matches for the Bundesliga. It's incredible. He's playing so well, but his team is letting him down. It sucks, but it's true. Jadon Sancho is finally fighting some form this season. He started off pretty poorly, but now he's finally getting some goals, getting some assists, just like he's proven the past few seasons. But despite this, I still don't think that they're good enough to actually take down Sevilla. Even though I don't think they're good enough, I am going to predict that Dortmund go through. Just barely. I think it'll also be on away goals. I'm just deciding right now because it's just, I think it's so close. And despite Sevilla's good form, I don't know, something tells me that this Dortmund team could just luck out and actually get a win over this Sevilla side. Can they do it? I'm still questioning it because it's such a tough decision. It is a very close match, but yeah, I'm going to go for Dortmund. Although many people are going for Sevilla, I'm going to go for Dortmund. I love Dortmund, I love Sevilla, but I'm going to go for Dortmund because so tough. I don't even know why I'm going for them, but this is the aggregate score. I might change it. I could go for Sevilla in the end. I really don't know. But yeah, this is the aggregate score that I think. And yeah, Dortmund will go through. Hopefully I'm right with that. Maybe not. Very tough. But on to the next match. So the next match, which will happen tomorrow. It's not the big one that you guys think. I'm not going to say that one just yet. I'm saving that one for last. Because I think this will honestly be maybe not a more entertaining match, but just... No, I won't say that. It's not the more entertaining match. I think the most entertaining match will be the next one. But anyways, this one is Liverpool versus RB Leipzig. I think, honestly, RB Leipzig is the second best team in Germany at the moment. They're finding such good form, especially with the likes of Angelino, who's playing so well at left wing back / left mid. He's playing so well, getting many assists, quite a few goals, and even in the Champions League, playing so well. While Liverpool in the Premier League, really bad form. Honestly, we would not expect that from Liverpool. Even at home, they've lost against Brighton, Burnley, Manchester City. Manchester City is a great team, but you wouldn't expect them to lose 4-1. And their goalkeeper, Alisson, who was voted the best goalkeeper in the world this season, or last year, he gave away two balls that shouldn't have gotten away. It still would have been a 2-1 victory, but it's still, like, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that Liverpool lost by that margin. And it could have been so many more. But anyways, Liverpool are in such bad form. RB Leipzig are in pretty decent form. I think they may have lost against a few teams early on, but I think they're finding their form again. But yeah, although Liverpool is a great team, so is RB Leipzig. They're a very new team, but they have developed so well. I mean, they're becoming a Champions League regular, in my opinion. Even with the loss of Timo Werner, they're still playing so well. I know they just made it past the group stage, bumped Manchester United down to the Europa League just barely on the last match day of the group stage. But I think they're still a very strong team. And even though they did lose quite a few matches in this group stage this season, I think Leipzig will actually go through. It will be a close match, but I do think Leipzig will go through because the likes of Marcel Sabitzer and other players, even though they have injuries like Dominic Szoboszlai and some other players, I can't remember at the moment. Oh, Emil Forsberg, that is those are two big losses. But I do think they still have many talents and many skillful players that can help them progress to the quarterfinals. Although Liverpool also have many injuries. I think that's the main reason why I'm going for Leipzig, because their defense is just not as strong, with the likes of Van Dijk, I believe, Matip, and Gomez all out with injuries. It's crazy. The injuries have really hit them hard, and it shows by their performances. They have brought in a few center backs and other defenders to help them solidify that defense, but so far it hasn't worked. But anyways, RB Leipzig to go through, aggregate score, and on to the most entertaining match in my opinion. Alright, so on to the last match. Obviously, wait, forgetting something. Alright, so on to the last match. It is obviously Barcelona versus PSG. And so, yeah. Is there anything else that needs to be said? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, I am a Barcelona fan. But it will be a very tough match for both sides, because they both have lost quite a few big players. Barcelona losing, having a few players out from injury, like Ansu Fati, who was said to be back, but turns out he wasn't. Ronald Araujo, who just got a knock against Betis a few weeks ago. Martin Braithwaite and Sergio Roberto, which maybe Martin Braithwaite isn't the biggest loss, but those other three are big losses. And PK is still up in the air to see if he'll play tomorrow, which will be my personal match to watch, obviously. But yeah, but also PSG have just recently lost Neymar to injury. Di Maria has also been injured, and a few other players, I believe, Juan Bernat and another center back has also been ruled out for injury, and it is big losses. They are big losses for both teams, but I still think they still have great talent in both sides, with the mix of young players and older players. Of course, the main matchup will be Messi versus Mbappe, and the first match will be at the Camp Nou, Barcelona's home stadium. We'll see what happens there. But despite all the talent, both sides, it could honestly go either way, just as many matches are. I think this is honestly the toughest one to call, even though I was in between for Borussia Dortmund and Sevilla. I think this is the toughest match to call because both teams have had turbulent seasons, like good successes, but also very, very depressing lows. I mean, PSG lost 3-2 against Lorient like a few match days ago, I believe, and then Barcelona lost against Sevilla 2-0 in the Cup semi-final. They did do a dramatic comeback against Granada in the Cup as well, but they also lost the Super Copa final against Atletico Bilbao in a very dramatic ending to the game. It was crazy. And the lighting is changing for me. Anyways, it has been pretty weird season. Again, like I said, it's a very crazy season for everyone. But it'll be Barcelona versus PSG. This is a very tough match, although everyone wanted to see Neymar come back to the Camp Nou to see him face off against Messi and maybe prove that he's better than him, or just showcase what he can do against his former side. But sadly, he's ruled out for the first match at least. Maybe the second match he'll come back, but it's still a doubt as well. But yeah, both teams have had defense worries. I think Barcelona has the weaker defense, but I do think Barcelona has just a bit stronger attack because of the injuries, with the likes of Neymar being out and Di Maria also being out. It's crazy. Those losses will be big, and they will help. It will come in Barcelona's favor, and just slightly, I think it'll be Barcelona going through. So I had a tiny interruption there, but it's okay. I'm back. Anyways, I just need the aggregate score that I think for the Barcelona and PSG match. This is the aggregate score. I believe that'll happen. It'll be a very close match, and I do think Barcelona will just make it through. I know it is my Barcelona bias maybe, but I do think Barcelona can make it through. PSG are a very strong team, and it is a very difficult game to predict. But I think I give the edge just slightly to Barcelona, although I am kind of leaning towards PSG, but I am a Barcelona fan, and they have been finding their very good form with the likes of Griezmann, Messi, and Dembélé, and Pedri, and Enrique Puig, and so many other players playing so well in 2021. I think this could be a very good year for them, and I think either team have a okay shot at winning the Champions League as a whole, but I think it'll be very tough for both of them. Very tough game. Very tough games for both of them. But yeah, I just go for Barcelona. So yeah, those are the teams that I selected to go through. I'll put a picture right now of the teams that will go through, at least in my opinion. And yeah, hopefully I was right, maybe I was wrong, and hopefully I'll make another prediction video for the quarterfinals later on. So yeah. Alright, and well, I guess that's it for this prediction video. Laters.